What is up, everyone? Welcome to AOS Trash Pandas. I'm one of your hosts, Rob, and this is my other host, or this is the other host. Starting off good as usual. We're not live. We are live. Yes, we are live. This is the other host, Carson. Hi, Carson.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're having a good night. The meat dimension is a rumbling,
yes,
and it's bringing me some gifts. I think it's 2 gifts, actually. Okay,
so
here's
gifts.
Number 1.
What is that?
Melatonin.
Melatonin. Wee.
Oh, and here's the second gift.
Oh.
Alcohol. Alcohol. Yay, melatonin and alcohol.
I hear they go great together, actually.
Yeah, that's my dog agrees. She's screaming in agreement at this situation.
That's what she does. You know, they say do what you love, never work a day in your life, and she don't work. What's up, Robin? What's up, Keith? Thanks to everyone for joining us. Live every week, Tuesday at 7, unless something whatever happens. We had a little bit of a hiccup getting it booted up. So this week we're talking about World Championship of Warhammer. Is that what it's called?
The WCW. Yep.
I remember the initials. I couldn't remember what it stands for.
World Championships of Warhammer.
Okay, cool. So Carson is going, as I'm sure everyone knows who is watching this. So we're going to talk about that. Maybe take a look at some matchups and whatnot. 7-ish. Yes, we are live at 7-ish. Actually, it's usually it's like 7:01. Usually. Yes. Welcome to Trash Panda. Yes, you are all welcome here. Thank you for joining us. So we're talking about that, and then we're going to have some predictions for what's going to come at the preview show. We already know something, GW straight up already said something is coming, but we'll talk about it. You know, we'll kind of, see how we feel, and I'm very excited for that. So, did you see the very Age of Sigmar rumor engine we have this week?
I haven't yet. I also do want to call out Robin, who just posted his display board in progress in the Discord, which looks amazing.
It looks awesome, dude.
So
yeah,
you should definitely check it out if you haven't already. But as far as the rumor engine goes,
before you go on with that, I wanted to just say, if you want to check it out, Robin's display board is on the Saga of Dice Discord. Link below. Also, before I forget, because I'm totally going to forget anything, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but the Etsy store is now live. You can go straight to the Etsy store, link in the description, and just buy dice. And it calculates the shipping automatically. Shipping from Canada isn't too cheap. I don't make any money on the shipping, of course. That's pretty much it. Sorry to interrupt. So you are currently looking at the very Age of Sigmar rumor engine, right?
Yeah, it's actually the most Age of Sigmar rumor engine I've ever seen.
I think so, right?
I'm pretty sure this is Skaven also. Yeah.
Ooh. I was thinking it was a line. So you know how the Caradron overlords are really into making money, right?
Sure.
And they like to drink beer because they're dwarves, or ale.
Yeah.
What if this is Caradron Overlord's magnetic coasters, so you can just stick your coaster down, stick your beer on the side of the hull when you're flying in your airship, and then it won't go anywhere. Also, when you're driving through the air, the wind will cool off your ale. It'll keep it nice and cool.
I think that makes sense.
Right?
I also think that this is an Ossiarch Bone Reaper carrying this thing, because if you look at the hand, it looks like that weird bone construct sort of thing. It's definitely not fingerless gloves. It's not fingerless gloves whatsoever.
It really does look metallic to me, though. Actually, I was thinking a Necron hand when you originally said that. Is it fingerless gloves? Oh, it is fingerless gloves, isn't it? I mean, it's not fingerless gloves. It's a, what did you just say? An Ossiarch hand?
It's a Ossiarch Bone Reaper.
I keep forgetting to keep up the... Yes, it's obviously an Ossiarch Bone Reaper or a Caradron Overlord.
Or It's a Skaven holding an Ossiarch Bone Reaper's hand, which is holding this newfound spear technology that Rob was talking about.
That makes sense to me. I think we have it down lock. LED now involved. Oh wow. Links in the video description. Good job, Trash Panda. Thank you. I do try. It doesn't show, but I do try. And now because after Carson's advice, I actually have descriptions in the description below. I'm trying to like make something up. So yes, so thank you everyone for tuning in. Now wait, what is this? Okay, so what? Okay, I guess we have to do it in this order. I didn't want to do it in this order, but like I don't know. Like this isn't the meat of the discussion, but I might just leave this up for while we're talking. This is one of the coolest miniatures ever, maybe. Like this is hilarious, amazing, and I need it directly injected into my veins. This is like truly, this is the best like little miniature they've ever done since like Sloppity Bile Piper. You know what I mean? Or one of those weird Nurgle kinds of things. He is perfect, and I'm excited, Carson. I'm very excited.
Yeah, this is one of those models that just like oozes character.
Yeah.
And I say oozes, no pun intended, but
hey.
it's just a really beautiful model, and it like perfectly kind of encapsulates what FEC is supposed to be, which is just like this delusional, like quasi-civilized society that thinks they're civilized but actually isn't, and it's just horrifying. So yeah, I think they really hit the nail on the head with this one.
Oh, it's so perfect. Yes, it looks like it's I think it has a name. Yeah, Gourmain. Grand Justice Gourmain. Like I'll state the obvious here just in case someone didn't realize from the get-go that this is supposed to be like one of those judge wigs that they used to wear in like Victorian era, or I don't even know when, like older than that maybe. I'm not really sure, but and it is. And if you're listening and you're not able to you're painting or something and you're just able to listen to it, he is wearing intestines as a wig. It's basically a giant poop chute on his head, and it is oh man, like the pages falling out, like you said, the hands dangling down, the tattered robes. The robes actually remind me a lot of the Deathmaster robe, and he's got like his skull gavel. This is sheer perfection. Yes, we already saw what's it called, the Gore Warden, I think it was called, like last week, the guy with the wings. That thing is also like, that one's like more ferocious and cool looking, and this is like, this is the kind of thing that makes me love Skaven. It's just kind of that weird like Venn diagram of funny and cool and creative, and mainly funny. That's what I really dig. I'll talk about it in a little bit, but I am working on, I've been like fast painting my FEC, or continuing, like I painted them back in 2020. They were actually the main army. A lot of people don't know this. They were the main army I was playing during the pandemic. I was playing them mostly on TTS while I was painting them, and because I bought a huge pile of them in early 20, like right at the start of the pandemic, maybe before lockdown. I can't remember. It was like right at the start, and from this really nice Italian guy, Lorenzo, and he had painted them all, but it was like totally different than what I wanted to do. And so I sold the ones that I got used, and I kept everything that I had. Well, not everything, but mostly everything I had new. So I'm starting to paint them up again. I'm going to do them for Path to Glory, and I'm going to try and get them like totally ready. Obviously we don't know, like we know that they're going to actually, okay. So I get that's the next topic, right? Should we just go on to that? Anyway, I hope you guys like this guy. I love him. He is coming to the channel. I've got more stuff going on. Maybe I'll tell you guys about my thing in a minute. I've got like this plan for my army. It's like a story, okay? And I've started doing test schemes. So this Friday is the Warhammer preview show. It looks like we are getting 40K, which is no one cares about, obviously. You know, the better and more popular and cooler game is obviously Age of Sigmar. We think we probably know what we're getting, though, because they've showed these videos saying, like, they're going to show us stuff. So the question is, how many things are we going to see, Carson? Because they just like leaked 2 things on a Monday. Like, why did they even do that? Couldn't they have just saved it all for the Warhammer preview show and just blown us out of the water?
Yeah, I'm kind of confused why they did that also.
Right?
Like, I'm pretty sure what they're going to show us is an army box for FEC.
Oh,
Right.
I see. Okay. But like,
And
okay.
there were those leaked sprues online that had like the
Exactly.
halberd FEC or whatever, and I feel like that's going to be kind of like the battle line or like foot soldier choice that's going to be in that box.
Do you think it's going to replace the main ghouls?
Probably not. Just because like the main ghouls, I don't think have any sort of like actual weapon on them, right?
No, they don't. I mean, sometimes
It's
they
just
have
like
a
their booby
bone.
claws or whatever they're
Yeah,
called.
sometimes they have a bone or like a little jagged piece of metal or something like that, but not proper weapons. They remind me of storm vermin. You know?
Yeah, so I think that's probably what's going to be in that box. And I think that probably we'll see the box, and then we might see like a couple other things, and they might show what they've already shown us in these previews.
Maybe it's the gore warden and like those guys, and then like one other thing in the box, maybe.
Yep. Yeah, I can see
Man.
that. I also think that
I hope so.
they're probably going to show us. So there's been like tons of talk about there being like a Summer King like release, like a big centerpiece for FEC.
It's gotta
I feel
be,
like
right?
I feel like that's when they're going to show it as well. That makes the most sense.
That makes the most sense. Okay, so yeah, they need to have a centerpiece. Like every army gets a centerpiece, right? So centerpiece is hopefully the Carrion King. He might be small, like because there's 4 death factions, right? Well, actually, so there's 4 death factions, right? And the centerpiece for Ossiarch Bone Reapers is Catacros, right? I almost called him Cavalos, like the horsey guys. Catacros. It sounds like a cereal to me. I keep thinking like I'm saying the wrong thing. Sorry. Okay. Catacros is he's the Mortarch of something.
He's like the supreme lord of the blah blah blah. He's got a really long title.
But he's the Mortarch of something. Is it bone or something? Boners? I mean,
is he a Mortarch?
I think so, because like that's the head. Like the head of the Night Haunt is the Mortarch of Grief. I should know this.
Lady Olander?
Yeah, Lady Olander, I think, is the Mortarch of Grief. And she's Night Haunt. So that's one faction. And then Soulblight Gravelords has 3. You've got Manfred, it's all one kit. Manfred, Mortarch of Night, Neferata, Mortarch of Blood, and
Catacros, Mortarch of the Necropolis.
Necropolis. Okay. So City of the Dead, kind of lame. I'm sorry.
Pretty lame, dude.
He's cool. He's actually super badass and cool. But the name lacks a certain je ne sais quoi, you know?
I was thinking Supreme Lord of the Undead, which is Nagash.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Right. So, but FEC don't have any Mortarch. Soulblight have 3. Right? Oh, no. Soulblight have 2 now. It used to be Legions of Nagash was Archon the Black, and now Archon the Black is the Mortarch of something.
He's an Ossiarch Bone Reapers.
He is now, yeah. But he used to be in Legions of Nagash. It was all like one army.
Right.
He's a Mortarch. He was a Mortarch, though. I don't remember what it's called. Maybe you guys can tell me in the chat. So Keith says, I'm curious if the AOS fluff for Usharan will include him being Neferata's brother. So I was looking it up, Keith, because like I'm getting so jazzed for FEC, especially, well, the reason that I started doing it was because our buddy Ryan messaged me. I can't remember if I said this already. And he's like, where are your FEC battle reports? Like, send them to me. I have people who want to watch FEC and SCE. And I was like, well, I've got SCE, but I don't have any FEC because I'm the only person I know that plays them, that has them, even a little bit painted. And I don't have enough painted to have them on the channel. So I started like madly going at it, and I just kind of remembered like how hilarious they are and how, how awesome. So I got a couple of start collecting boxes. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, right. So that's right. So then, remember when I kept calling him, what is it called? The Carry-On King, right? And then you were calling him the Summer King or something like that. And then you were saying like he has more of a backstory. Mortarch of Sacrament. Thank you, Keith. That is awesome. Good knowledge. The Carry-On King. Speaking of traveling on the plane, he's the bite-sized version.
I'm just imagining all of the jokes where like someone's complaining at PSA where they're just like, "What do you mean I have to check him? He's the Carry-On King.
He's the
That's
Carry-On King. You can't make me check this guy. What if he's like really small? He's like the smallest Mortarch. He comes on like 100 mil base or like an 80 mil base, but he's like this little crotch goblin. He's super tiny, and he just buffs things.
Carry-On King because it's easy to travel with. Yeah,
exactly. And he does that trick where he like gets in a suitcase and like closes it on himself.
Yep.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, the Carry-On King. I mean, so anyway, so I looked it up, and as Keith says, so that one of his names is Usharan, right? And so I looked it up. I looked up on Black Library. I was trying to find a Black Library book to read about FEC. I searched FEs or Flesh Eater Courts rather in Black Library. I got 0 books, even though I know Ghoul Slayer is out there, right? So then I was like, okay, how can I just want to read something kind of tangentially related to them. I searched up Strigoi, the old bloodline for the Vampire Courts, and so he's in a novel. I didn't buy it. I don't know if any of you have seen it. But there is Usharan, as Keith says, is Neferata's brother. So I did like a little Google search, and I found out that he drank the elixir of life and turned into like a vampire or something. He's the first of the Strigoi line, and then he like made this kingdom, and then Neferata just like F's him over super bad, and then he gets exiled, and I think he died in the world that was, but he supposedly is the Carry-On King. He's the Summer King. So yes, I hope. Like if they don't, then like when are they going to do it? Like, because this seems like it's going to be a pretty decent release. Like they've shown, as we just discussed, they've shown Gore Warden. They've shown, today they've shown Goremain, and everything's gore. And they have the sprues, we've seen the leaked sprues. So we know about 3 things. Like if they're going to show something on Friday, it's got to be at least 3 kits, 4 kits. It's got to be, right? And the Vargulf is ugly and old, right? Can't wait to the new FEC drop. Dude, I'm so jazzed. I'm in like Flynn. I've started making up like backstories of different characters. And I am happy to, and I am going to discuss it, whether anyone likes it or not. Like, I've got ideas, people, and I want to bounce them off of you, okay? But, first. So, what do you think, Carson? Sorry, I'm rambling from excitement. What do you think? How many kits? Except, other than the ones we know about. So, like, new kits, like, they're definitely going to show the elite ghouls, right? Whatever they are.
Yeah, new kits other than the ones we know about. I don't think any of the 2 kits that they've officially showed to us are going to be in an army box.
You don't think the Gore Warden might be like he's like the Slan?
Maybe.
He could be.
He could be.
The Slan's a pretty big kit.
Other than the ones we've seen, I'm going to predict we see 4 kits.
4 kits. Okay.
Yeah.
And hopefully one of them is the Carry-On King. The Carry-On King. Bite-sized King.
Carry-On King. Yeah.
I would love that. So, Mortarch of Sacrament, Mortarch of the Necropolis, Mortarch of Blood, Mortarch of Night, Mortarch of Grief. Is that everything?
Yeah.
Mortarch of Sunshine and Rainbows? Mortarch of... of gore. Everything's gore.
Gortark?
Gortark? Gortark. Excuse me. As much as I like the named character releases, a part of me wants more customizable heroes. Totally. Well, we know we're getting Gore Warden, right? So, okay. 4 kits. So, not including the what are they called? Elite ghouls, right? I do think that's a separate kit.
Yes, including the
including it. So 3 more that they're going to show. So basically, they'll show the 3 kits that are in the box.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so.
I think we should get like, I hope this is a center, because there's no way the carry-on king or even the check-in king comes in a box set, because it's a named character. Like they haven't done that since what's her name, Indrasta in the Oblivion set, and that didn't sell so well. Yeah.
The personal item king is definitely going to be just his own kit, but
the fanny pack king.
Yep. The wallet king. I don't know. Rosa says, "Is Judge considered named?" Yes, he was shown to us with a name, Gormain.
Yes, he
Gorman?
is Gormain. Yeah,
Gormain, Ayne.
Yeah, that's it. Mayne. Oh, he's so sick. I'm gonna leave it on here. I just want to look at him and drool. Yeah, he's a named character. I don't think that they showed what he does. Did he? No. I didn't even get a chance to read this. It was so crazy today. Oh, that's so cool. Do not trouble yourselves with such legalistic minutia. You are no trespasser, but an innocent and invited guest. The date of the great feast draws near. Upon the day of World Championships of Warhammer preview, and soon you should be warmly welcomed by all the noble lords of the court. Sorry, it's hard to read when it's smaller. Yeah. So, like, but if they're going to show us 4 kits, Carson, why did they spoil 2 of them ahead of time? Like, are there going to be other AOS releases that they're going to show?
I kind of doubt it.
Right?
I feel like it's going to be 100% FEC, especially because there's a bunch of other game systems that are being shown off alongside.
There's no Warcry. There is Underworlds, so we'll see an Underworld.
Munda, Old World, Kill Team, yeah. Like
it's like
everything except Warcry, basically.
Yeah,
and Middle Earth, but yeah.
Is it me, or are you way more excited for Warcry than Underworlds? Like, Underworlds is a specific named band character, and Warcry is like, you get to use this. Like, you could buy several of them. Ugh. Anyway. You love my energy? Hey, man, I appreciate it. I really dig FEC. Things just kept coming out, and so I just kept not going back to them. And then eventually I was just like, I'm not doing anything with these guys. It's a bunch of painted miniatures by someone else, and I just sold them, and then I just didn't get back to them. But oh man, this has really ignited my love. Yeah.
Keith says, would the AOS thing maybe include Dawnbringers 4 stuff? I think that the new Dawnbringers book is coming out. Oh no, it was on Saturday, wasn't it? That the new Dawnbringers just came out. Maybe. Yeah.
So that was Dawnbringers 3, right?
Yeah, that was Ionis, and yeah, because people already have their like Belthanos and stuff like that.
I've got them right over there.
Yeah, so possibly I could see that. Yeah.
Carson is a nice dude.
I resent that. That's not true.
I don't know who this is. Delicious Relish. You are super welcome. Based on
the profile, I think it's a guy I've met at a tournament.
Is it?
I'm not going to say his name just out of respect for his privacy.
Totally. Well, I was just saying they must know you because, like, we have a local meme that Carson Yes, Carson is a meathead.
Carson is a meatheed. What does that mean?
Meathead. A meatheed.
What? A meatheed.
Meatheed. All of this is true. Sir Carson, Mortarka Mustachio. Damn it! I'm so jealous. Okay. If I'm a Mortark, though, what am I a Mortark of?
Excitement.
the Mortark of excitement. I mean, I'll take that. Giddiness. Yeah. I was waiting for like Mortark of trash for like Trash Panda. Mortark of Trash Pandas?
I'll show you the Mortark of trash. I'll show you the Mortark of trash.
Mortark of Trash Pandas.
This is the Mortark of trash.
That's true.
Look at this thing.
Trash Goblin.
No, get away from me.
I've been downgraded to Squire? Damn it. Not again.
And his Squire.
That's true. I am supposed to announce you, but I do resent that. I feel like I'm an abhorrent I don't know. Abhorrent. No. I mean, I'll take Mortark of I don't know what that means, Keith, so I'm not going to say it on the internet. SCE versus Korn for 4th edition. So the thought is it's going to be...
Say it on the internet.
What's that?
Oh, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead. Continue.
It's supposed to be SCE versus Skaven is what we've heard, Spook. And I do know Spook. I know Rosa in real life. Super nice guy. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, so it's supposed to be Skaven. Is what we're hearing. And obviously that is my ooh. Yeah, I've literally already started saving money. Not even Rob Day, just Rob as quickly as you can say Rob. Skaven needs some love, and they really do. Oldest kits in all of Warhammer, I believe, including 40k. 31 or 32 years for Lord Skrulk and 30 or 31 years for the Acolyte. It's crazy. Verb move quickly and apparent. Hey, that's pretty good. I'll take that, actually. I will take that. Mortark of hype. That's actually probably the most accurate thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Mortark of hype. Yeah, I actually genuinely worried. I was having a conversation with a friend, and I was talking about a 40k YouTube personality that I won't mention because, anyway, I was just saying like, hey, did you see this video? And he was saying, I don't watch him anymore. And I was like, really? Like, I like him. Like, he's funny and blah, blah, blah. And he was like, he just seems so, like, fake and, like, YouTuber-y or whatever. And I was like, I hope I don't come across that way. Because, like, this is me. You know what I mean? Like,
no. You haven't started, like, releasing videos where the thumbnail is just you going, like...
I know.
Like,
I can't stand those. I like these guys on YouTube, Abba and Preach, and apparently what they do is they just take like a thumbnail from the video, like they just take a screenshot and then they just cut it out and then stick it on there, and they hate it too, but like that is part of playing the game, like it is part of the algorithm. But I haven't started yet, people.
Yeah, we haven't sold out. Anyway, the Etsy store is in the description, and if you can buy some dice, that'd be real great.
Oh, and there's also t-shirts as well. My spread shop, whatever it is down there. Yeah, I've got the Hypno Toad is up. It's been approved. I believe everything's still 15% off there. So yeah. Actually, it was really depressing, you guys. I started the Etsy store. I don't think I told you this, Carson. And I started the Etsy store, and then at like midnight, and then within the next like 8 hours, I got like 6 messages, right? And it wasn't an order. It was someone trying to scam me. Like immediately I started up and they're just like, hey, I need your email address to place an order. And I was like, my email address. And then I looked it up and apparently it's some kind of scam. So I don't know what they do with it, but they didn't get it. Don't forget to hit, that's true. What Keith says is true. If you're watching this later as well, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and smash that comment button. Nailed it. More talk of Trash Panda. So new rumor engine is some 40k mine guy. No, Bahamut. It is very clearly a Caradron Overlords coaster set that you can lock your ale into. You can like slap it down on the hull, and then they put their ale down and they lock it in. I guarantee it. You're gonna like your new coaster set. I guarantee it. What are we talking about? Oh, right. Warhammer previews. Like, you guys let me know too. Okay, so are we gonna get, I think it was Keith mentioned. I'm sorry if it wasn't Keith. Are we gonna get a new Dawnbringer book, like, talked about or something? Some kind of minor preview. Like, there's no more previews surely until January, right? Until LVO.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Actually, you know what? Sorry, I didn't. I just realized sometimes like they do it right before or right after Christmas.
A preview show, like just an online one.
They just put stuff out there. They're just like, I remember Nurgle. It was like 8 days of Nurgle before Christmas, and then there was like Goblins or Gloomspite Gits were announced on like January 1st or 26th of December or something like that. Yeah. That's interesting. Triple stacked, skip the dishes warmer for delivering pancakes. I mean, you would buy it, right? Looks like a Mechanicus hand. We talked about that. Carson said it might be fingerless gloves, you know, for badassery. Boxing Day announcement, exactly. So USA spent tons of cash getting a pen that works in space. KO spent tons of gold getting ale mugs that don't spill when flying. Exactly, Keith. And I don't know if you heard this. I don't know if you were here earlier, but if you lock it on the side of the hull, when the wind is going past it, it will cool your drink. Like, it's like eco-friendly. Like, you don't need a refrigerator to keep your ale closed or cool.
Yeah, KO are definitely the ones that are worried about the environment.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, they mine Aether Gold, so I guess they're probably not actually. I kept trying to go back and forth. You're hoping GW comes to their senses and supports vampires and Skaven in the old world. I mean, I think they're going to do both, Lord Castellan. I think they're going to do, like, because, like, what I actually said before, on my old channel, before vampires were announced, like 6 months before it, I was like, they're going to come out with vampires, and it's going to be kits that will be, like, dual-wielding Old World and AOS. And they did that. Like, they did the refresh on the direwolves, the skeletons, you know, all that crap. But hopefully new Graveguard as well, because they look really stupid next to skeletons. They look like children or teenagers or preteens. I don't know. They look too small. Yeah. His hat scares you? Are you talking about Lord Gourmain? Or not Lord, what was his name? Something Gourmain. Anyway, you're going to go live a life of simplicity. Have a nice show. Hey, thanks for showing up, Delicious. Your presence here was delicious, actually. Yeah. That makes sense. I'm glad you picked that username. It fits you. Thoughts on Grungy coming back? Oh, baby. Yeah. So, a lot of people... Wait, when was Grungy... Maybe you know this, Rosa, but, like, Grungy was, like, previewed or hinted at, I think... Was it in the last Dawnbringers thing? I want to say he's hinted at in the last... Maybe in like the Kragnos book or something like that. But he was hinted at. I
don't think it was a Dawnbringers book. I think it was...
I'm sorry. Forgotten Realms? Forbidden...
I'm trying to remember what it was called.
I do this every time. It was in Bellicor. That's it. It was in Bellicor. Rosa. Yeah. What is it called again? Forgotten Realms?
Forbidden Power?
Forbidden Power? No. Is it
That's something else.
Yeah. Oh, man. Magnetic bug shield sold separately. Yeah. Oh, man.
Broken Realms.
There is something with red hobo this year. Oh yeah, the Red Goblin guy. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's Broken Realms Bellicor.
Broken Realms. Nice. Thank you. Did you use your Google machine?
No.
No. I was gonna say smart, but never mind. You're an idiot. You did it the hard way. Yay! We need to get you like some kind of like faux meat hammer, you know. And I don't mean that in a sexual way. Just, you know, let's keep it classy, everyone. Oh man, I need Gourmain's gavel. I need a gavel. Oh, now that
it's a terrible gavel. It's like anytime you try to hit a table, it just gets stuck.
Yeah, but
you're like, ah.
Like, God dang it! I meant to bang it twice. Oh man, I need that gavel though. I need some kind of skull gavel. Maybe I could probably anyway. Okay. Oh, but we're past Halloween now, so I can't buy any of the other things I would need to make it. So anyway, enough of that. They've been hinting at Grungy and Grimnir angered the other dwarven gods somehow. That's why they were imprisoned. Yeah, I know. I think it was. Is it Grimnir that fights like that lava monster in like the what was it called, the Age of Myth or something? There's like a picture of him. He's like this fire, molten lava god fighting this. I can't remember what it was. It's a really cool picture. Yeah, I mean, I'd be down for that. Grungy went walkabout to see what dwarfs were left alive out in the realms. Came back later and made the Thunderstrike armor while telling people something big was coming. Right. So, oh wait, Grimnir is the one who's like inside of what's his bucket? Gotrek, I think, right? They hinted at something with that. I can't remember. Anyway, oh man. Meanwhile, Tyrion is literally carrying LRL while Teclis is chilling with the moon. Man, I didn't know any of that. Grimnir exploded fighting the Magmadroth God Beast thing. That's what it was. And then, oh yeah, and that's the chunks of what the Fire Slayers put in themselves, right? I mean, I remember what Rosa said though. There was something in Forgotten Realms where I think it was Grimnir or Grungy, one of the two, is supposed to like come back, and it was hinted at, and it was sort of like a hint at like maybe they're going to unify the dwarves, the dwarfs, as Keith said. Skaven and Vampire counts not being launch races when we're focused on the Empire, and Bretonnia is silly. It really is. Sylvania is a rogue Empire country, and Skaven are always there. Yeah, they gave some kind of BS excuse, Lord Castellan, about like the time, and people didn't know about Skaven, but like no one knew about Skaven later on either. It was like this whole, it's the meme, right? Last time I knew, Grunky held a meeting with the major Firesower holds, KO, Skyports, and Dispossessed Kings, which actually was a success, even though they just argued the whole time. Hey, that's cool, John. Thank you for the lore bomb. Grombrindle. Oh, well, there's another like white dwarf god thingy. Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah, good job, Bahamut. That's awesome. Okay. So, preview show, we kind of talked about it. I'm going to say 5 kits. I'm doing the Price is Right thing where I like one up you.
5 kits including the leaked one, or 5 kits not including them? Because mine is technically 3 kits including them. Or not including them, sorry.
You think there's only 3 kits? I'm going to cry.
At this release, right? Because like, did they show all of the Seraphon stuff that was being reworked in the Seraphon preview?
No, but they had 2 previews. Yeah, they had 2 previews. One was, let's see, the first one was, yeah, they like around. Wait, was it around this time?
No, it was way later than that. I think it was Adepticon, right?
Wait, when did they come out? Didn't they come out?
Seraphon came out. The army
June?
box was like early summer this year.
Yeah. I want to say like early June. So.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well, anyway, so let's say they came out in June. Okay. Wait. Yeah. When we first saw them, we just saw the army box. That's fair, but they already showed us two things. Also, they can't be coming in like that much later. Otherwise, it'll be stepping on AOS 4.
I don't think it's going to be that much later. I think probably we're going to see an army box in December, and then we're probably going to see like a proper full book release in January. Basically, like the same cadence that Slaves to Darkness was, where like there was an army box late last year, and then in January they did the full Battle Tome release.
Right. I think they released earlier than December, though. I want to say it was like October or November, right? Because like, weren't you waiting forever for that the full release?
I didn't wait long at all because I didn't buy the Slaves to Darkness box as it was announced.
Right.
It was just sitting on the shelf.
It was just sitting on the shelf.
Leftover, and I was just like, I guess I'll start this army, and then that was a Boxing Day sale. So
That's
I didn't wait very long at all.
Crazy. That's wild. Okay, fair enough. But let's see. We've got okay. So there was 3 kits, and they were the things shown in the preview show. The Slan, the new Raptors, the Skink Raptor Cavalry, and the what did they show? And the Warriors. Right. Oh man, but if it was only 3 kits, I don't think so. I think
every other box has had 3 or 4 kits in it.
We don't even know if we're getting a box though.
I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a box.
There's
been
so.
one. I guess not every release has had one, but every rework
has had a box. Right?
But and there's definitely like somewhat of a rework for this.
Right.
I guess like the.
Okay. Yep. I'm with Bahamut. It's got to be at least 4. Or he says 4. Yeah. I added the at least.
So the big winged guy, I forget what it's called.
Gore Warden, I think.
So the Gore Warden, Gore Main.
Yeah.
We're not counting those.
No, because they've already shown them.
Yeah, and what about the leaked halberd guys?
We'll include those because they're not officially like shown by GW, and they kind of do these mental gymnastics like we don't already know about them, right?
Okay, so my prediction is 4, including those.
Including those.
Yeah.
So box set is usually 3 things. Well, how many were in the Slaves to Darkness?
Slaves to Darkness had Ogre Therodon's Chosen, Demon Prince.
3, right? Was there a Littlefoot hero? I'm
trying to think. I don't think so. I think it was 10 Chosen.
10 Chosen, and then 1 Ogroid.
And a Demon Prince. Yeah.
And a Demon Prince. Do Chosen come in boxes of 5 or 10?
5.
So that's like 2. That's like 2 boxes. Oh, but you know what? The Raptors were the same thing, I think, right? Oh no,
it's usually 4 units.
Okay.
I think, right? Because like 4 or 5 units. Because like the city's box was steel helms.
But they usually double up on something, right?
Yeah, it was 2 steel helms, a Cavaliers, and a Warforger, and then also like the Relic Envoy or whatever it's called. Seraphon had a Slan.
1 unit of Warriors and 2 Raptidons. Yeah.
So 4. So it's like 4 or 5 per box. So I'd imagine we get like probably 2 units of those new halberd guys.
In the box?
Probably, yeah.
So you think 20 of those dudes?
I think so.
That would be cool. Okay.
Yeah, and then I think that we'll have like a new hero of some kind. I don't think it's going to be a named hero because they've never done that for the generic, like the boxes.
Yep, I agree.
And then like probably just one other thing, like one other new kit.
Okay. I am, as everyone knows, a wishful thinker. More talk of wishful thinking. And so I'm gonna say more than that. I'm gonna Price is Right you. No, I'm not gonna Price is Right. I'm gonna take the integrity move and I'm gonna go 2 higher than you. You're saying 3 new kits, right? I'm gonna say 5. 5 new kits, including the new elite ghouls, right? That's true. Rosa is right. I always do this. I always say it's going to be better than than it is in the end. But you know what though? Like, dude, when they showed the Seraphon off, I loved it so much. I was like, that was maybe my favorite preview show they've ever done. Like, it was so cool to me. And then they showed all the rest of the kits that I liked even more. Yeah, I love. Don't be too hopeful. It's my downfall, Rosa. It's kind of my thing. More Tark of too hopeful. Okay. Yeah, that's true. We didn't get a big so back in 2019, I want to say, when the first Seraphon, or the second Seraphon, Age of Sigmar 2.0 Seraphon book came out. I predicted like this giant long neck Brontosaurus Brachiosaurus with some kind of thing on its back. That never came. Obviously it's still not here. That would have been cool. I mean, maybe we'll get it in Dawnbringers. Like last time in Forgotten Realms they did Croak, they did Kragnos, they did Bellicor. They did other things I just can't remember. I think they did Selexian Sinestra or whatever, the Slanesh twins, maybe. I don't know. But we got lots of big kits last time, so. And we just got what's his bucket? Belthanos. He's big. And Cryptborn. So we can get big new kits. Admech, Necrons, FEC, some Destruction, Underworlds. Yeah. Admech, yeah, I'd like to see some Admech for 40k. I won't be getting it. They've been killing it with Rosa, right? They've been absolutely killing it. How dare a lowly squire 2-up Carson, devourer of the corn dogs. I'm Mortark of hype, okay? You will put some respect on my name, or I will become so hype I'll just the screen will fizzle out and melt. Okay. Yo, Beefy, thanks for joining us. We're talking about the preview show. I'm getting too hype. Carson is
Grumpy Pants.
No. I mean, 3 is probably the answer. I always say this. I always say you're probably right, but I can't help myself. I'm just I'm living up to my name, the Mortark of hype. So I'm gonna say I just had an idea because the FEC, anyway, I am deluded like the FEC, right? Okay. Mortark of opium. Bomb, what that is. Yeah. That I can't decide what's better, Mortark of hype or Mortark of hopium. Oh god. Oh, that's so funny. Oh my gosh, that makes me laugh so hard. 2 new Space Marines, 2 new Xenos, Christmas boxes, new Ogre kit. New Ogre kit! Do you see that?
Oh, I hope so.
That would be awesome, dude. They need something. Actually, I think, you know what I think they need? Something that other... Let's see if you can guess what I'm going to say, okay? Ogres need something that some armies have way too much of.
Named characters.
Yes.
Unique characters, yeah.
Unique named characters. There's no named character for ogres, right?
There's the Underworlds ones, but that's it.
That's not that. Yeah, but you know what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. There's no specific I think almost every other even every other destruction faction has a named character. Like you have Skragrot, you've got Gobsprak, you've got Gordrak, you've got that's already all 3 of the other ones. Oh, and King Broad.
King Broad. Well. Yep. So I had it there for you. I think are ogres the only one? Fire Slayers have a couple of foot hero named characters. What I want to see though, if we get an ogres one, I want to see a named character that's a dual kit, so we get the best of both worlds on some other kind of monster, or if not on a monster, just make him like some kind of like super tyrant, like a badass. Like he's a little bit bigger than the other tyrants.
Well, that's literally a thing, an over tyrant in the lore,
Okay.
but they've just never released a model or anything like that for it. So
Wait, what's the regular tyrant? Isn't he an ogre tyrant?
over Over.
Oh,
Over
that's like a thing.
Yeah.
Whoa. I don't think it'll be in the next Dawnbringers because we just got ogres in the last Dawnbringers. I hope I'm wrong.
I mean, they've done. It's kind of confusing because they've done what, 2 Gits things now.
That's
Remember
true.
they had the Rabble Rouser and they had Trug. So I could see them doing.
Right.
Yeah, I could see them doing like a Beastclaw Raiders character or something, because they just did Gutbusters, which is the what's it called, Gorgers,
Right.
and then like the Maw Pit and whatnot. So I could see them being like, here's this new crazy Beastclaw Raiders character or whatever that is going to be like a mega stone horn. That'd be pretty fun.
That would be awesome. The Yetis do need a rework, but a Yeti tyrant, that would be. I would never get into ogres because you've got them so completely covered. But like, I'd be like, oh, I would be jealous. I'll live vicariously. That's what I'll do. 7 factions got new units so far. That's pretty good. Or is it? Only 7? Sylvaneth, Stormcast, ogres, Fire Slayers in the last book.
Yep.
That's 4. Gits, right. FEC, Nurgle.
Yeah, because
the guy on horse.
Yeah.
And
did KO? I don't think they did.
I don't think so.
They got an Army of Renown. It's just kind of like Sons of Behemoth, where they got an Army of Renown, but not a new model.
Did they? I thought they got a little named character or something. But I wasn't paying attention clearly. I guess that is. I guess it is 7. I can't. I mean, unless there's something I'm forgetting. Anyway. Oh man. Okay. So final prediction. I'm gonna one up you. I'm gonna Price is Right you. Play it safe, and that way get my hopes down nice and low, so that if we get more, then that's great. I guess we probably won't see the Carrion King, Usharan, I think his name is. We'll probably just. Will. You think we'll see him?
Yeah.
But with the Seraphon, they just showed the box set, and then they showed the other crap later on. Because he's not going to be in the box set.
Kind of running out of time to show stuff is the only thing.
That's true. Okay. Okay, I'll go back to 5 then. You convince me. If we get him, then it's going to be 5 for sure. I'll say that. So, Elite Ghouls. We know about them, right? New Vargulf. Maybe that's what's in the box set of the new Vargulf. Because we know we've got to be getting a Vargulf. We're getting a Vargulf or they're getting rid of that whole idea. But the Vargulf is badass. Or the idea of it's a badass. It looks cool in Total War. How about that? So let's say Courtier, Vargulf Courtier is his proper name, I think. And then Ghouls, Elite Ghouls in the box set. Okay. And then everyone else has gotten cavalry? Or no, not everyone. Slaves of Darkness got Ogroids. But everyone else has gotten cavalry. Cities, Seraphon, like everything I can think of.
Slaves of Darkness technically got cavalry because their Chaos Knights kit was updated, but
that wasn't in the box set.
No, it wasn't. You're correct.
So I'm just trying to cover the box set first to figure out what I think is coming. I'll say Vargulf is coming in the box set. I'm gonna say obviously the Elite Ghouls. 20 would be awesome, to be honest. I would be super into that. So I hope you're right. And then I'm gonna say 1 unit of some kind of cavalry. Like maybe, I don't know. Maybe like giant baboon cavalry. You know, like the guys from the Warcry set. Ghoul baboon cavalry, some kind of cavalry, or maybe like a new kind of crypt flayer, like elite, like the Ogroids, like something equivalent to that slot. Like they need either like a super elite slot or they need like a cavalry, right? So that's 3. And then I'm going to say, if we get the Carry On King, I'm going to say him. And then one other another named character. Or not a named character, but like another like side ho character. And abominable or aberrant an aberrant, I don't know, something. I'll figure it out. Okay. Oh, I hope so. Please. I am going to be okay. So if people, thank you everyone for staying through my nonsense. I will be watching the live preview show. It starts the same time our show normally starts. Carson won't be here because he's going to be there. You're going to be like maybe actually at the live preview show. I'll be so jealous. Aberrant Royal Guards. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be dope. Ghouls riding ghoul style gore from Gore Chariot for Chaos. These are all good ideas. Keep them coming. New Strigoi? Yeah, exactly, Lord Castellan. That's sort of who is instructed in the Act 3, Book 3. I don't know. Yeah, Stormcast got Chaplain Ionis, I think his name is. Okay. I'm just getting caught up a little bit. So then, is that all we're getting? I'm going to say that, and we're going to get Dawnbringer's Book 4, whatever that it's going to be, with some.
I think Dawnbringer's Book 4 makes sense. Like,
right?
A little bit more of a reveal, just because they've been hyping to us in like the player packs that like this is the first ever World Championships, which PS it's not.
Yeah.
This is like the first this version of the World Championships, because last year I think was only like 16 people or something.
Right.
And it was just like very specific tournaments, like that sort of thing.
It was 2 tournaments of 8 people. Yeah.
And it was it's basically like immediately what the championship bracket is for this one.
Right.
And this one they're very clearly like inspired by the Olympics, where like you're not representing your team, you have to represent your country that you're coming from.
Okay.
And then like people who are part of the same country are being treated as if you're part of the same club, so it's like they prefer not to match you against each other. And then there's even like a medal count to see like who's doing the best in their countries and like representing their countries. There's like a country score, that sort of thing. So
that's really
and you can
fun.
watch that all live on Best Coast Pairings as well. They've kind of like worked with Best Coast Pairings to get like a live display on that. Which is
it going to be like through Twitch or YouTube?
Twitch. So it's just twitch.tv/Warhammer.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's going to be on the Warhammer. Got it.
Yep.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yep. Before the first round, there's going to be like a coining ceremony, and I don't know what that means. So I'm assuming that just means like the people get swag ceremony, and then that's that.
I thought it was like you're joining a cult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably it.
You are joining a cult, but
yeah.
The cult.
They like make a little cut in your hand and then fill it with plastic, and then
yeah. You go up to like the plastic injection machine and you make a cut, and then you do like the blood brother ceremony with it. Yeah. It burns. Why is it melting plastic? Box of FEC full range previewed at LVO. Oh, that's a good possibility. I hope not though. I want it sooner. 5 factions: Seraphon, Khorne, Zeech. I can't read that. My thing's blocking it off. Deepkin. Ooh, yeah. We need crab cavalry for Deepkin as well. Actually, and maybe something else. I don't want another foot hero. There's like plenty of foot heroes in Deepkin. Maybe like some other, like elite hero, or like my favorite thing would be Embaler. I've said this so many times, and I apologize to people who have heard this before. Embaler on Krakagon, on giant Krakagon, which is basically a Kraken. Yeah. The Embalers in Deepkin lore are the guys that like, and girls that like tame the different sea beasts so people can ride them, including the Deepmare. It's really dangerous. And anyway, the lore is pretty fun. Whale monster. I mean, I would like a whale monster, especially if it was like I mean, this is gonna sound bad, but like a sperm whale, like aka like Moby Dick. You know what I mean? And then you could paint it like a giant, sperm whale. I don't know. I just like that. I don't know. It's like maybe it's because of Pinocchio and different things like that, but I just think sperm whales are cool. Or an orca. Orca would be cool. I like them. They're neat. Could get a priest. Yeah. I want a big thing for Seraphon, though, to be honest. Okay, and then Old World, I'm going to predict Tomb Kings. Because, like, there was all those rumors about them getting, like, a box set for Christmas that matched up. And we haven't seen anything Tomb Kings. We've seen a bunch of Bretonia stuff, so... That's Dreadsaurian. Oh, man, bring back the Dreadsaurian. I've got my Dreadsaurian. You guys probably know. Anyway... Horus Heresy, don't care. Kill Team, don't care. Necromunda, don't care. I like it. I think it's cool, but don't care. So, yeah. Okay. Incarnate of the Great White Whale. Then you can return. It's wearing an eye patch and telling your tale. Hell yeah. Like a fake captain's hat. Yeah, oh man. I forgot what I was going to say, but I had an idea a long time ago of something to do that you just brought up in my brain, but it went away real quick. Would be cool if they had an artillery piece, maybe an octopus that throws a giant spear. Like, that's what I'm saying, dude. Like, Kraken, like, obviously I love Kraken. Like, you can see the logo for my channel that I designed. It's I like Kraken. Anyway, okay. So, Carson, my man, you are going to Warhammer World Championship of Warhammer. WCW, like, I just feel like people will be like, what?
The problem is they can't call it Worlds because that's already an event that exists.
Right. And that's for teams, though, right?
It is for teams, yeah. And
Cool.
It's also, like, based on country as well. Like, there's a Team Canada, Team USA, Team Denmark, Sweden, etc., etc.
Right.
So I think GW probably wanted to just be like Worlds. It's Worlds, but they can't because it already exists.
That's true. What picture? Do you mean like the rumor engine? This thing, Beefy? It's a KO coaster set. We put that down on lock. Okay. It controls a ship. That would be amazing. I don't know. Did you apply for Worlds, Carson?
I was too late. So the issue is that, like, this is my first year being competitive in Warhammer.
That's true.
So no one really knows who I am.
That's true.
And I didn't really start, like,
I don't even know who you are. Like,
yeah, that's true.
You just show up sometimes.
I didn't really start placing well enough to even make it to, like, the World Championships of Warhammer until later this year, and the Team Canada was already decided, I think.
Right.
So, or it's mostly decided. So, yeah. Plus, that's a lot.
That's
like,
true.
I don't know if I.
Yeah, it's a big financial thing too. Like, you're already going to the World Championships of Warhammer, but you are the number 2 player according to Warhammer in the world, number 1 Ogres player in the world. So you're doing pretty good. Enough of this false modesty, but don't worry, you are a jackass, Carson, and you suck. Actually, people don't know about this meme in our chat. If you want him to do well, you have to insult him. So everyone say bad things about Carson, both in the chat and in the comments. Carson, am I lying? Am I even joking?
No, he's not joking.
No.
Like, sometimes we'll do negativity circles around me.
Yeah. Just
so that, like, I'm humbled enough to actually do okay. Because if everyone's too nice to me, then I lose. And I think that's why I did so poorly at Pacific Northwest Masters this past weekend, is because, like, I was recently on AOS Coach and people have just been, like, DMing me, being like, hey man, you're the reason I got back into Gutbusters and Ogres. And I'm just like, stop, please stop. You need to be mean to me.
Yeah, you need to be mean to him. It's so true. Carson is a poo-poo face. Yeah. And yes, all of that is true. And his squire, Rob. I am his squire. I need to get one of those really long trumpet thingies with the flag that hangs down.
Yeah, and like, with the size of our set, you'll be, like, directly into my face. Just
No, I meant, like, I go with you to World. Remember there was that whole meme?
I remember.
Yeah.
But like every time after that, you just deafen me in every battle report.
That's true. I mean, I think we should do it for that alone. Say Halba el Cago Mustachio twice in his neck. I hope I didn't just say something dirty. So, should we look at your pool? Like, how do you want to do this? Like, this is your day, poo poo face. What do you want? Hey, I'm working for you, man. Okay, I'm your squire. Okay, I got your back. How do you want to? How can we talk about this in a productive manner?
We could do some highlights, and then ideally in the next like 20-30 minutes, maybe we wrap up, just because
Sure.
I got to be up at 3 a.m. for an international flight.
And 3 a.m.
And it's 8 p.m. Yeah, that's like in the staying up late range instead of waking up early range. But I got to get some sleep before then.
So you have to get up in 7 hours from now.
Yeah, a little less. Yeah,
a little less than 7 hours. Jeez.
And I still have a little bit of packing to do.
Oh my god. Thank you for being here.
I mean, I knew I was going to have an abysmal sleep going there, but that's why you get there a day early, is so that like you sleep so poorly that the jet lag effectively doesn't matter, and then you get there and you have an actual like 8 hours sleep before the event. That's fine with me.
Like, that's wild.
I accept that. But yeah, why don't we take a look at my group first, and then we can kind of go over some like interesting things from other ones. So if you click on roster and then there's a little search bar, you just search group 3, it'll immediately just filter everyone that's in my group.
Group 3 view list. Oh, I see. My bad. Oh, wait, you say I search group 3?
Yeah, search for player and then just search group 3.
First you're saying search for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Group 3.
Yep. So then you can kind of scroll down and you see every single No, you don't have to search for my name.
Oh.
Or maybe I'm delayed.
Maybe I misunderstood.
So if you do the player search and just type in group 3, everyone that shows up will be in my pool.
That's what I did originally, and then I thought I misunderstood. Okay.
Yeah.
So
so just as like a little overview of format, if anyone is truly interested in like the nitty-gritty details of the tournament, AOS Coach just did like a really good overview of like what the World Championships is and how it works.
And AOS Coach is a TO.
He is a TO. Yeah, he'll be there. And then what's it called? So basically how it works is last year it was just 8 people in two tournaments of 8 people that was just like double elimination. This time what you have is you effectively have a regular tournament on Thursday and Friday. So you play 5 games over those 2 days. And the 87 people that are in this event have been split into 4 pools. And basically you play that tournament within that pool exclusively. So my pool is 22 people, so I'm playing a 5-game tournament with 22 people over the course of those 2 days. Then the top 2 people from each pool, so probably the person who 5-0s and then the top 4-1, are going to be, or maybe there could be just 4-1s if it's like a really competitive pool or something like that. But the top 2 people get pulled from each of the 4 pools to the top 8, and that's the championship bracket. And that happens on Saturday and Sunday, and Saturday and Sunday is that's double elimination at that point.
Right.
Those eight people. And that's to determine like best general world champion. Everybody else that doesn't make it into the top 8, they're going to be doing something called the world bracket, and that's basically you play 3 more games over the course of Saturday and Sunday, and then that still makes it so that you're eligible to be like best overall. For instance, let's say you came with like a really good painted army, you can still do really well there. So you're playing anywhere between like 8 and I think 12 games over the course of 4 days.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, it's really obviously ideally you get into the final day. Like that would be great. But even if you don't, that's so awesome that they have like another tournament that you can go and still compete in, you know?
So my expectations have been shrinking and shrinking and shrinking.
That's
so like I started off. I remember I talked to Rob like in person after we filmed the Dan battle report. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And he was just like, "How do you think you're gonna do?" And I was like, "Oh well, my goal is to get into the top 8."
Yes.
Because like in my mind, I'm like I do really well at pretty much every tournament that I show up to. So and I've always placed like top 5 or 6 in a
Right.
tournament.
Right.
Even like the U.S. Open, I was 6th. But then I was like, wait a minute. Everyone at this tournament is that kind of player. So that means that like half of the people who normally like win a bunch of events are going to be losing most of their games, right?
Like all these people that have won a tournament, literally won a tournament.
Yeah.
Half of those people are going to lose their first game.
Yeah, exactly. So then after that, I was like, okay, I want to go positive. How about that? I just want to be like positive in my game record. But then I was thinking more, and then like this weekend happened where I actually didn't go positive for the first time ever. And then I was like, okay, I just want to have a good time.
Yeah.
How about that? How about I made it to the World Championships, and that's a feat in and of itself. Let's have a good time.
It's like being nominated for an Oscar. You've already won.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can, rub it in barista's face at Starbucks and be like, "Do you know who I am?"
Yeah.
I played for Canada in the World Championships of Warhammer.
Yeah. I mean, you already do that. You said,
"Yep."
Yeah, I remember you said, "Do you know who I am? I was on AOS Coach." She looked very confused, but I knew what you meant, and that was what was important.
I didn't even know you were there, but I'm glad that someone witnessed it.
Yeah, I was getting a caramel macchiato.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like, aren't you lactose intolerant?
Super. Yeah.
I'm gonna ruin this Starbucks bathroom.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ruin it.
I painted the walls. It was like I was feeling FEC, and I really kind of got the Nurgle out. Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
I'm actually allergic to milk, by the way. I'm not.
Right.
Yeah. Just to be clear. Yeah,
it will kill you.
It's not. Yeah, you can. Yeah, I had like a little bit, and my hand swelled up, my left hand. Yeah, I didn't. It was in something I didn't know. Yeah.
Well, that's not good.
No, I didn't enjoy it. Going right along. So how many people are in your bracket?
So in my bracket, there are 22 people,
including Bryan Cranston here.
Including Bryan Cranston.
Did you see Bryan Cranston? Oh, it says Lofton. Never mind.
Yeah. Bryan Cranston.
I mean, I just assumed.
Just looks at me in the eyes. Carson, we need to.
He just looks you in the eye. He's like, say my name.
But yeah, there's a lot of big competition. We can kind of just slowly go down the list if you want.
Sure.
Basically, like we've got, let me just search for it on my PC too, so it's not delayed. Adam Saff, haven't heard of him, but I know that Sweden is a really competitive country. Alex Cosgrove, also haven't heard of him, but he's playing Aussie Arc Bone Reapers, and that makes me sad.
Yep.
Brian Lofton is playing Blades of Corn. I've heard of him. I think he's from Texas, but Blades is also like a very good army. And then there's me. Haha, yay.
Yay.
Casper Torres Carlsmose, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Denmark is an extremely good and competitive team. I think they won Worlds last year. And I know that from the mouth of Matthias, Blades of Corn in the hands of a Dane is a terrifying thing. So we'll see how that goes. Chai Zola, Blades of Corn also, haven't heard of him. Blades of Corn's a good army. Cody Sauls.
Before you go on.
Yep.
How is Casper not playing Nighthaunt? Like.
That's fair. Yeah.
I knew you would want me to derail the entire conversation just for that stupid joke. Love you, Casper. Good luck, by the way. Yes.
Chai Zola. Oh, I already said that. Cody Salts. I don't know. He's playing Starborn. I looked at his list. It's a Starborn list. So far, like going down the list for each one of these, I was just like, wow, that looks terrifying. Oh, that looks terrifying too. Oh, that looks terrifying.
That's true.
Dale Irvin, who's the top-ranked Destruction player right now, I think.
Jeez, really?
Definitely the top-ranked Gits player.
That makes sense. He is going to Worlds with Gits.
Yeah, so. Exactly. He's got like 30 Boingrot Bounder list, like 3 groups of 10. King's Gits looks pretty scary. Dean Limath, Slaves to Darkness. It's the Upsal Varengard list. It's pretty. It's pretty. It's. I think it's like the most competitive Slaves can be right now. So it's definitely nothing to.
That's interesting.
Shake a stick at.
And you just need to sell your car or a kidney.
Yeah, exactly.
About that, are Or never mind. Sorry, I'll ask you about that afterwards. It's kind of a matchup thing. I was curious about ogres.
Sure, yeah. Frank Selv, Seraphon, also Starborn, pretty similar to what Cody Saltz is running. Gear Videld, who I know won like the Norway tournament or something. He's also running Uppsala Varengard, and I've heard that he's a very good player. A really nice guy, so I'm looking forward to meeting him.
Cool.
Hadrian Torin, France, Big Wah. Again, never heard of him. A lot of the like Europe, sometimes they won't use ITC, so it's kind of hard for us to hear about them over here.
Yeah, it's true.
So
it's kind of unfortunate.
I'm sure he's a great player, but
yeah, like a lot of them probably deserve more credit than they get, right?
Yeah, exactly. Jeremy Lemoy, who was the only person that beat me at the US Tacoma Open and also went on to win the tournament.
Ooh.
So that was a sour taste in my mouth. No, I'm just kidding. No, he's a really good player. He's bringing in his Bone Reapers again, which is the army that got him here in the first place. So
good.
Looking forward to seeing him.
It's
and
cool
he's
that
also one of the Pacific Northwest people. So yeah.
Right, that's true. It's cool that he's sticking with what got him there.
Yeah, for a while. So I've been to many tournaments where Jeremy was there. Probably like 3 more after, at least 2 more after Tacoma. No, 3 more. Yeah, and he played a different army every time. I'm pretty sure. Like
Wow.
he had just kind of like he won the Open, got his golden ticket, and he's like, okay, now I get to screw around, and starts like experimenting with armies, and I respect him for that.
I like it.
And I know at Cake or Death he was even playing a different army than Ossiarch as well, so he's been around the block.
But when you're going to Worlds, though, you should definitely take whatever you think is best.
Yeah, and what you're most comfortable with is the biggest thing too.
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, like what you have the best chance with.
Yep.
What I'm trying to say. Yeah. Okay.
Yep. Joel Graham, who I know is an absolute monster coming out of Australia. He's playing Big Wah. I know that, I've seen articles about him. He 5-0s all the time, so I'm sure he's going to be a terrifyingly good opponent if I get the chance to play him. Jonathan Warekta, Waretka. I haven't heard of him. Soulblight Gravelords is it's a competitive army still, so I'm sure it's going to be fine. And then I think the only Skaven in the tournament.
What?
Jordan Rady, who props to him for bringing Skaven, because I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of people rolling up that just like aren't expecting it.
Who is
myself included,
hero?
But I know he's running like a war singer or a war whatever. It's the super damagey Warbringer. Yeah.
That's the best Vermin Lord. He's got a Warbringer, Devious Adversary for the extra attacks if he goes first. Warpstone Charm for -1 to your armor save, and then in his hero phase he needs to roll a dice, and on a 1 he takes D3. Grey Seer, Lord Screech. Oh, he's got another Vermin. He's got the named character. Priest, Clan Rats, Plague Bears, Hell Pit, Warp Grinder. Wow. What a cool list. I'm cheering for him now instead of you.
My bad. Warpstone Enjoyer says there are 6 Skaven lists, and he is absolutely correct. There's only 1 Skaven list in my pool. That's my mistake.
I don't know that makes more sense. I feel like what you said initially made the most sense, that there's only 1 out of 100. But I guess, Warpfire Minis goes over this list in a recent video. Oh, okay, cool.
Nice.
Cool.
And then carrying on from there, Lewis Swan, running Meat Fist. He's got the Tyrant Kragno special. Respect there. Nicholas Raverty, Beasts of Chaos. Seems like a solid list. It's like Darkwalkers, lots of Bulgors, but you would expect for sure. Rigole Tybalt? I'm not sure how to pronounce his name.
Right.
Mega Ken of Nurgle is always going to be like a big old tar pit attrition war. That's going to be scary. And then Thomas Oliver, another Mega Ken of Nurgle list. Same thing. And then the number 1 player in the world.
Is in your bracket?
He's in my pool. Yeah. So that's gonna suck.
That's not cool.
Yeah, that's gonna be bad. Oh, looking forward to that one.
Oh man.
It's gonna be a bad time. If I get the chance to play him even. And then Tyler Bushy, which is playing Sons of Behemoth, King Broad Stomp. So,
and you forgot Thomas Zenin from China.
That's Tom Guan.
Oh!
Yeah.
I thought Tom Guan was from the States.
He is, but he's representing China.
Oh, okay.
So that's another thing is like you choose which company or country that you're representing.
The company
Um,
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
the companies too. I'm representing Sears. Um, the I think they're out of business now, but
I think they are
let's bring
too.
it back. Let's bring it back.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, my bracket, there's a lot of really good players in it. There's also a lot of players that I haven't heard of, and then I know that pool number two is like all of the Texas players and
Oh,
a
weird.
lot of players that you probably would know.
Okay.
It was completely by accident, apparently. And then one thing to note is that because they're trying not to match people into their own country,
Yeah.
whenever possible, like I'm pretty sure it becomes Swiss pairing after the first round, which is just like you're paired against the most viable person.
So the number one goes to versus number two, and so on.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
I think I'm not exactly sure. We'll find out. But I do know that at least for the very first round, it's going to be making sure that, like, essentially making sure that the United States players don't play against each other. And what that means is that because there are 10 United States players in my bracket and there's 22 people in the bracket, it's almost guaranteed that I'm going to be playing against a US player and not someone from a different country. So I'm actually glad that Tom Guan signed up as China because that means I have very little chance
Hell
of running
yeah.
into him in the first round. So I can be spared for at least one. But we'll see what happens the second one.
Goodness. Beefy Crunch says Zellers is coming back. I knew that. I heard that. I was gonna make that joke, but I didn't want to interrupt because like the only thing funnier than Sears would be Zellers, but they actually are they're actually coming back. Isn't that wild?
I'm Team Zellers.
Yeah. You're Team Zellers, aren't we all? I'm a Zellers kid, man. I used to go there.
I remember Zellers.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything good or specific about it, but I remember that it was there.
Yeah, I don't remember anything good about it. I remember this lady had a stroke in there. My mom helped her. That was about it. Yeah. So anyway, good old Zellers. They got one in Winnipeg. Nice. Hell yeah. Faced off against him round 1 and won. That would be godlike. Can you imagine a bigger ego boost?
I feel like I'd have people buying me beers for the rest of the event.
Yeah, right.
If I just knock out Tom Guan like at exactly the very first try,
right,
that would be insane.
Yeah, and my apologies to Tom Guan. I like literally, I thought I went because the other guy before him is Thomas Oliver, and I just thought I accidentally skipped past him, or the actual Tom Guan. Anyway, my apologies. Oh, that's so sick. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, like, because the crazy thing is all of these people are the best people from their region, essentially, right? They're all like tournament winning people. Literally, they're all tournament winning people. And what's crazy is someone here is going to go 0-5. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Like, someone has to.
Yep.
So, or it's like the Olympics, right? It's a lot like that, where it's like the best person from each country, but there's gonna be a last place. Like that's what happens. Yeah, there has 100%. To be. Yeah.
And there's a bunch of other like trackings and awards and stuff too. Like there's a best in faction awards. I think best in Grand Alliance and stuff like that too. So like,
oh cool.
They do like their whole. It's like their closing event of the year. It's basically their LVO.
Right.
Where LVO based on ITC points. They do it based on this one tournament essentially. Like if you made it here, depending on how well you do.
I see. Yeah, they kind of do the same thing. Like I'm really into Street Fighter, as a lot of people would know, and there's this thing called the Capcom Cup, and it's like the same thing where you have to qualify. You get in there by winning certain tournaments or getting enough points in the Capcom events. You know what I mean? To make it into there, and then it's the top. It's the cream of the crop. They give away an absurd amount of money. I don't think they'll be doing that here, but ironically, we spend way more money than you would on like Street Fighter. If you get like the craziest, nicest, controller, or several of them. But
yep, you get a lot of stuff. Like
yeah,
like I've probably gotten thousands of dollars of stuff.
That's true. That's true.
Which is insane in and of its own right. So if I was like selling it or something, which I haven't, I usually just give it away if I don't need it.
Yep. You're very generous.
Then sure, but it's by no means profitable.
No.
You're losing money at every turn for sure.
You are. You're doing it for the experience. We're all about the journey here and not about the destination. I mean, and they frankly couldn't. Well, maybe they could, but I feel like they couldn't really do what they do with the Capcom Cup, where I forget the prize pool. It's something like, it's hundreds of thousands of dollars, right?
Yeah, or like I know that Magic has a Grand Tour or whatever. Like they do paid tournaments.
Exactly.
And to be honest, I kind of hope we never do.
I do too. I totally agree. It's funny you should say that.
Yeah, and I know that this is not an original opinion. This is actually kind of being recycled from Heywo, which is a YouTuber that I enjoy quite a bit.
I love Heywo as well, but I have not. Yeah,
he came from like a competitive Magic background.
Yep.
And he mentioned as well that like he kind of hopes that Warhammer Age of Sigmar, or just Warhammer in general, doesn't really become like a paid tournament kind of scene, because as soon as you do that, as soon as someone is like, this is my livelihood, then it opens the gate to be like extremely toxic.
Yeah.
And when you have like any sort of like gambling essentially for like dice and randomness and stuff like that, then it just makes it really easy to get really frustrated when there's like thousands of dollars on the line, right? And you already see some examples of people cheating at tournaments and whatnot, and using like loaded dice, like the toilet dice fiasco.
The toilet dice.
And that already happens without there being paid incentive. So it would just get worse, I think. So
it would get worse, and yeah, I completely agree. I don't think I think it's really rare for people to actually be like, no, we should turn this into an esport, it just wouldn't work. Like the game would have to radically change from what it is now. You'd have to use like some kind of official dice rolling app or something like that. You know what I mean? And that would just take a lot of the fun out of it.
I agree. Yeah.
When were you at the Olympics so I can watch how you did? I saw you in the Olympics and you came last. That must be embarrassing. And that's not what I'm saying. Like, I'm literally saying the opposite. Like, if you make it to the Olympics, you're rad. I met a bunch of people actually during the Olympics in Vancouver here. I met Michael Phelps and a bunch of the athletes that were. Michael Phelps wasn't in the Winter Olympics, but he was doing like an interview here or something like that. I met him, and I met a bunch of athletes from all over the world, and for the most part, they were super nice. Yeah. But no, I mean, it's rad that you got there. Like, I've said that from the beginning. Like, I think I was way more nervous about you winning than anyone else, right? Like, I was just like, heart in my throat, like, give me updates, and you're just like, yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about it, and I think I'm gonna do okay. And I was just like, how are you so calm about this? Yeah. But conversation with a local guy, he doesn't like the initiative from AOS and double turns. A lot of people don't understand the double turn, I think, but it is a sticking point. But the old world's coming back, so they're definitely, the one thing I know for sure is they are not going to have a double turn in the old world. I guarantee that. Yeah.
No, there's a lot of content about like the double turn and people's grievances and people's support of it.
Yep.
I myself love the double turn as a mechanic. It's really cool. It's a very easily predictable mechanic too. Like, you have to play as if it's going to happen in the worst way possible, and then as soon as you do that, your games will get a lot easier.
Yep.
But yeah, I understand, like, a new player who doesn't have the time to invest like a lot of effort they don't have a lot of effort and time to invest in like truly learning it.
Yeah.
That makes total sense. If you just want to like casually play a game, it's absolutely going to seem like I run my models at you, you run your models at me, and you got 2 turns instead of me, and that's why you won. It's And there's been me winning tournaments or not tournaments, but like tournament games because of the double turn rule too. Like, that's absolutely happened. Where it's just like, sometimes I'll get into a position where it's like, if I don't get a double turn, like, I have to play for a double turn or I lose this game basically, and then I just win that roll off, and that's the game.
Right.
And that's a reasonable thing too.
It is. I mean, like, the best defense of the double turn, I think, is if, and no offense to what you just said, I've been there for sure. But like if the double turn, like if you are letting the double turn decide the game, then that's like on you more than anything. You know what I mean? And I think that's true, even though I obviously do it. The other thing though too, like I'm not saying it's against the double turn, but like there are people, and I might be one of them too, that like I'm a Timmy, so I like to just go in there and smash things. You know what I mean? And so like it kind of goes against my play style to like have to plan for the double turn. You know what I mean? And so, but I think at different points in its life cycle of AOS, from AOS 1 till now, the double turn has been better and worse. It's kind of fluctuated. And I think it's in its best spot ever because, you know, there's battle plans that influence what's going on so strongly on the table. Like taking the bottom of the turn on some of them can change the entire, you know, flow of the game. You know, taking the bottom of the turn can decide the game, like taking the top of the turn. You know, so yeah.
That's it's an interesting point that you bring up about that specifically, and also like I have a very specific anecdote for that too, which was actually the last game I played at Kipper's Melee against that Nurgle player. He won, I think, every single priority, and he kept choosing to take the first turn.
Okay.
Otherwise, basically, he was giving me a double, which was really risky for him.
Right.
But because the battle plan actually gave me some sort of agency on like the state of the board, this was power flux. So I was basically choosing like these two objectives or these two objectives. So
Right.
even though he was winning priorities and taking the turns to prevent me from like getting a double turn and smacking him, he still had to like compensate for me changing where the objectives are and like having say on where that's going to be.
Right.
So
yeah. I mean, you and I just played that same battle plan, and controlling where they went was pivotal, I would say. And I didn't play that that one great, but yeah, absolutely. Power up the Doom Wheel and send it. Hell yeah! Now you're speaking my language. Would rather be our Cool Runnings or our Eddie the Eagle. I know Cool Runnings, you know, because I am Canadian. Eddie the Eagle. That sounds familiar. People play properly. I just like as a one drop dictate. I agree with Keith actually, and you and I, Carson, have talked about this as well. They need to do something about who gets the first turn. The drop war thing, I actually think is bad. I think you should have to deploy not knowing who's going first, because then you can, you know, that way you can't just be like, I'm a 1-drop, you're a 6-drop, I'm an alpha strike. It doesn't matter what you do. I've got the same game plan. You know what I mean? So you just deploy on the line and then you go crazy, right? Whereas if you don't know that, then you know what I mean? Yeah.
I actually disagree with you on that point.
That's fair.
But you know, like I respect your opinion and I see where you're coming from. But I also think that like it's a choice that you're making essentially between like extra enhancements, which can be extremely good, or like there's no reason to have a 1-drop. So basically, like you'd have to get rid of the battle regiment, I think, in order for that to be a thing, and then everyone would have to have like different battalions that work in different ways. So I guess that's true.
That's kind of what I would prefer, because like the other thing too is that like some armies literally just don't work. Like, I mean, like army books. There are army books that just don't work. They don't get a 1-drop. Like, that's not a thing. You know what I mean? Or you have to play in a very specific, very annoying way. Or even just like Fuethan Deepkin. Like, if I want to take Bloodthirsty Shivers, which is their entire subfaction, that's what it is. Then if I take more than one, I'm no longer a 1-drop. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
And I don't even have any good artifacts. So I'm always like a 2-drop. I take the Arcane Tome on my stupid king. I mean, whatever. I guess I could take like another mount trait if I have like a turtle, or not, or if I have 2 turtles or 2 kings. I don't know. Yeah, that's not really a thing. But anyway, um, you know what I mean. Yeah, it's I do like I mean, all that to say, I do like the double turn now. It's not going anywhere, you know. And by the way, people have made a lot of great uh, comments in the chat. I'm just not able to address them all. I really like. It was interesting what Beefy Crunch was saying, that he thinks Money Hammer will happen. And when you said that, I also thought like, oh, you know, they could just like, you have to use their dice. Like you're playing on stream, you open up a new thing of their dice, you know, translucent dice or whatever, and then that way it's not possible. But
yeah,
you know,
I actually prefer that as well. Like
yeah,
as much as I love having custom dice,
yeah.
I've talked about this many times. I don't like the anxiety of like someone ever thinking that my dice are loaded or they just roll well because they're like weighted in properly or something like that. I'd rather just not have that worry and have the event provide neutral dice, which is why I like, what's it called? Like Emerald City Open did that, Pacific Northwest Masters did that, and I much prefer it because like whenever someone gets a crazy roll, you're like, okay, that's just what happened. Like it's not.
Yep.
There's no doubt in your mind that this person was like cheating for some reason.
Well,
so.
we just got some new club dice, warp dice, club
Yep.
dice. Anyway, they I played Darren in a battle report, which is going to go up on Patreon at some point. He used the new club dice. He did not roll well. I played Dan last night. He did the opposite of that. And just to be, and I also had some amazing rolls as well with my new dice. But like they're the same dice. They're both translucent dice. Like I put the order in for our club. You know what I mean? So they're all the exact same dice. But there's something about it. Like you could just have mojo. You know what I mean? You really can. But I know what you mean, because like people will ultimately say that. Like our friend Ryan, and I'm sure I've said this before, gets accused of using weighted dice. He rolls so well, so consistently, that he then says, okay, we'll switch dice. He switches dice, takes their dice, and rolls the exact same god tier level dice, and then they roll bad with his dice. It's like he has a magic power. It's wild. But no, your dice are not weighted well. They're from Chessex. I've gotten a million things from them. They tend to roll very poorly for me. But what's crazy too is I got a bunch of Kraken dice made up before, like a different logo, not my channel logo. I just found like this random like Kraken symbol on the internet. Got a bunch of Kraken dice made up. They rolled terrible for me. Andy, our buddy Andy Selwood, been on the channel many times, been on the podcast. He traditionally rolls really poorly. I gave him my old Kraken dice, and then he rolls so well that like Eric and like Alex were complaining to me. Like he was rolling that well. Like they were bullcrap or whatever. So yeah. But yes, GT's no toilet dice. Oh, come on. What's the problem with toilet dice? What are you, a pansy? I'm just kidding. No, toilet dice, unless you're worshiping Nurgle, toilet dice are not in fact where it's at. It's true.
Yeah. Beefy Crunch says that playing events with dice is too expensive for TOs. That's a very fair point. Like, some events are more well-funded than others, and you
Right.
can't... I certainly wouldn't have that expectation of a tournament, but what I'm saying is that I prefer when that's the case, is
Right.
when dice are provided.
That's true. I mean, but like, how much is like plain translucent dice, if you buy them en masse, like from Chessex, like what is that actually going to cost you, right?
It's
Like,
not a lot, yeah. And like for instance, at ENW Masters and at ECO, they give you 20 dice, and if you need to roll more, you just borrow your opponent's dice, or you just roll multiple times as needed.
yeah.
In Age of Sigmar, like it's pretty rare that you need to roll more than like 20 or 30 dice at a time.
Yep.
Um,
60 millimeter dice, like I can hold comfortably. I can hold like 20, 25, probably 30 dice in two hands and roll them.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, batch rolling is totally a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like people do that all the time.
Yep. So like 20 dice per person. Like if you're paying like $100 to enter a tournament, you know, Make it 105. There is
even $100 is a lot for a tournament. Most tournaments are like $50 or $70 or something.
Right. Yeah.
Like so yeah, just like $5 or $10 extra, and then you could easily do that, and you don't even have to let the people keep them. Like reuse the dice tournament to tournament.
That was actually my other point, was that like there is the downside is sort of that, you know, like you could end up with almost sort of garbage dice, but like you could kind of just explain to people like, you know, this is for tournament use. If you can turn them in at the end, then, you know, I will wash them and, you know what I mean, reuse them in a future tournament, and then it'll save people money. And if you want to keep them, you know, they're included in the price of your ticket, and then you can just kind of keep it going like that. I don't know. But
yeah. Absolutely.
Boy, howdy.
Oh yeah, we should probably wrap up soon though.
Yes.
I do gotta.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Thank you guys so much. Sorry I couldn't answer. We kind of got, you know, a little bit. My Mortark of hypeness kind of got a little out of control, and the hopium, and the wishful thinking. But please, everyone, say terrible things to Carson. Feel free to DM him. Horrible things. Only about him. Don't say anything nasty about his dog. Just Carson, you know. Feel free to get personal. If he cries, it'll be tears of happiness that you care that much.
Yeah, every tear I cry is one more percentage chance that I can beat Tom Guan.
Tom Guan, exactly.
Starting at 0.
Keith says break a leg, Carson. No, really. Awesome. Yeah. So yeah, but seriously though, you suck and we hate you. So yeah, go to hell, Carson.
Right there with you, buddy. Right there with you.
And thanks to everyone for tuning in. Next, I will be streaming the event, the live event, same time as today, 7 p.m. PST. You can look it up, whatever it is in your. I mean, you can go to the GW website, the Warhammer Community website. It'll show what it is in your local time, roughly. And yeah, so I will be streaming that on Friday. And then next Tuesday, we'll probably be talking about sort of how things went and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, thanks to everyone for tuning in. And we'll see you guys later. We'll see you on Friday. Thanks. Bye.